Welcome to our third Tepestorm Shadowverse Meta Snapshot. A patch was released on July 29th, unleashing the biggest set of card buffs in the history of Shadowverse. The state of the meta before this balance patch was unfavorable to Dragoncraft and Shadowcraft, both the least played classes in the rotation format. The July balance patch did not do much to improve either class's position, but the buff to Displacer Bot was enough to push Artifact Portal into Tier 1 in our mid-August Meta Snapshot. This has pushed other archetypes to other positions on the Meta Snapshot tier list, including a niche deck that took us by surprise making Tier 1. Before we reveal the latest developments in this latter meta, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest Tepestorm news and Shadowverse content. Artifact Portal excels in enough ways to be featured among the best archetypes in the rotation format, finding a place in Tier 1. Acceleration in combination with Artifacts or Magna Giant is an effective board clear combination against most decks, while also fielding a board by itself. The deck also has access to various means of closing out games, from Mecha Hero of Purgation as an OTK, to multiple followers with Storm, like Radiant Artifact, that can punch through Azazel the Depraved. Lucena Portal has fallen hard in the past month, finding it especially difficult to beat any deck running Azazel the Depraved. The once powerful Portal archetype now sits in Tier 3. Hybrid Blood has cemented itself as the second best deck on the ladder, and the most popular Bloodcraft archetype to be played, despite Machina Ruin putting a damper on any Bloodcraft depending too heavily on the Vengeance mechanic. The versatility and power of Hybrid Blood can beat any other Machina deck, and finds an especially strong matchup against Alana Haven. As players continue to refine and learn to pilot Machina Ruin, this technical deck has risen to the top of Tier 1. The current best deck in the rotation format takes advantage of draw power to ensure consistency, gaining regular access to effective board clears, such as Technolord and Magitech Golem. Machina Ruin also has Mechabook Sorcerer's ability to make the most efficient use of play points. It is also one of the better decks to deal with Ambush Sword, an up-and-coming archetype that has also cemented itself in the lower end of Tier 1. Ambush Sword is preventing Spell Boost Ruin from taking advantage of the popularity of Hybrid Ruin and the occasional Alana Haven matchup to its fullest potential. The Swordcraft archetype was part of a winning lineup of several high-profile tournaments, including 2 Shadowverse Open events. It also saw play in the lineup of 2018 WGP champion Feg in the Rage Pro League finals. In the hands of a skilled player, Ambush Sword can catch any opponent off guard for a devastating victory. The rise of Artifact Portal and Machina Ruin gave Alana Haven a rough time in the meta, though it remains in Tier 1 for its strong, well-balanced design and relevance on the ladder. It suffers against popular newcomers like Hybrid Blood and Artifact Portal that are both more flexible and proactive against decks like Alana Haven. A new Havencraft deck joins the Shadowverse Meta Snapshot near the bottom of Tier 2. Evolve Haven is a new take on the Alana Haven archetype, sharing a majority of the same core cards while trading cards such as Holy Lord Ector for an Evolve package that consists of Nikar, Jafnar, and Zeus the Supreme. This featured variant is an experimental response to some of the challenges Alana Haven has been experiencing, including the mirror matchup. While the deck is still unrefined, it has been finding success in the competitive rotation format, and has a lot of potential in these last weeks before the next Shadowverse mini expansion. Spell Boost Ruin has slightly dropped in popularity, and now finds itself in Tier 2. Many of the most recent meta shifts have not been kind to the Spell Boost archetype, as the drop in Alana Haven usage and the rise of Ambush Sword put Spell Boost Ruin at a severe disadvantage. Ambush Sword has solidified itself as a top ladder deck, and is an abysmal matchup for Spell Boost Ruin because it lacks both early pressure and a way to clear followers with Ambush. Spell Boost Ruin can still go toe-to-toe with most Bloodcraft decks and Machina Ruin, but with such a skewed matchup against Ambush Sword, things are much more difficult for Spell Boost Ruin than they were a few weeks ago. Its saving grace is still the high win rate against Alana Haven, and has a role in targeting that deck. However, all-rounder decks tend to fare better than specialized ones, and so Machina Ruin is the superior choice on the ladder. The full range of decks available in the rotation ladder makes it hard to point to any one deck as the definitive counter to the meta. While Artifact Portal and Spell Boost Ruin hold unique roles as the only 2 decks to hold their own against both Alana Haven and Hybrid Blood, Ambush Sword can dominate both decks easily. Machina Ruin also has the most balanced range of matchups across the tier list, and has the best tools to deal with Ambush Sword. We recommend visiting our website and searching through our matchup section of the Shadowverse Meta Snapshot to find the best counters to decks you encounter the most in your climb. In conclusion, decks are becoming more refined the deeper into the Rebirth of Glory meta we go. Most matchups are more polarized as a result, but Evolve Haven and Ambush Sword are still shaking up the meta. Ambush Sword is ultimately an archetype that relies on taking opponents by surprise, and may become weaker as a result of finding more regular encounters. The mini expansion is going to be released on August 21st, 2019, with 17 new cards. We look forward to the possibility of weaker classes getting buffed, shaking up the meta further. For now, what decks have you been encountering on the ladder? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest Tempestorm news and Shadowverse content. Thanks for watching.